Hello, this is Alexius, and welcome back to Automation as Monza Motors. Last time I left off, I had wanted to design a few cars. I went ahead and did that, partly because I wanted to make all the trims and everything, or the fixtures and everything, but I want to guide you through what it all was. So one of them, they're both using Boxer 4-cylinder engines. This one's an all aluminum dual overhead cam, square, 2-liter. As can be seen up at the top. All forged. We're using about 7.3 compression, 45 on the cam. Anybody who has noticed the curve so far will notice that's a turbo. So we fiddled with this quite a bit to get it to about where I wanted it. It's low boost, 7.3 psi, giving kind of that funky curve. But it gives us a fairly wide range at a fairly low RPMs. And that seemed to be beneficial and work out after a lot of fiddling. We did go with single point electronic fuel injection, regular fuel, ignition timing, RPM limit of 7,000, and of course with a turbo it has to be a short cast. Single muffler. There's a little bit of the growl. As for the car itself, this was intended to be a premium vehicle. Spent some time getting all of the fixtures to be about what I wanted it to be. Hopefully that's fairly pleasing, looks decent. Certainly spent enough time on it, which is why I didn't record it all. But it ended up being a front-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive just wasn't as desirable. I was really surprised by that. But if you notice, the comfort in Premium is absolutely the highest. And then a bit of prestige. Those being the primary concerns, the front-wheel drive ended up being the right choice. Tweaked all the numbers over there. Like, we could do a cheaper but with less gears, has minimal impact on the desirability of the Premium. Makes it slightly more affordable in some other categories, but it's so slight. Radial medium compound, that's that straight comfort option. Fairly wide tires. I do believe that's max diameter. I don't want to mess with it to set up any knock-on effects to other components. 14-inch rims. You can see right there. They're kind of chunky tires. That's a comfort option. Vented discs in the front, drum brakes in the back, like big vented discs too. It's a heavy vehicle. Yeah, 2,700 pounds. They didn't want extra cooling? Oh no, they didn't. Huh, how about that? I thought I might have overlooked it. Luxury interior, premium 8-track. See, the premium interior is not as good. You'll notice seat range is 4 to 5. In fact, 4 might be more desirable. Actually makes it hit some other markets. I might look at that here in a second. Power steering, hydraulic, advanced 70s, safety. Oh yeah, that's pretty significant. No wonder the engineering time for this is so long. Hydromatic twin dampers, suspension. Here's the settings. Fairly middle of the height. Didn't want higher, even though I thought it should be. Actually, it should boost that rear suspension some. Take the hit so that it has a better load capacity. Especially for 5 seats. I must have tweaked it at some point and not fixed it. I'm kind of running at the limits here. Alright, that gets the drivability to where it needs to be. Right, a little bit higher. I know there will be those of you who are interested in what time she does around the track. 2:44. The thing I wanted to see is how she does with the 4 seats. So if we have 5 seats, we're hitting utility, commuter, family, GT. Wow. Luxury, premium. When we're doing 4 seats, we're hitting not as much utility, commuter, city premium, family, convertible, and luxury. And we're hitting the premium pretty hard with those values. One more look at what we're losing out on. I might have to spreadsheet that real quick. Because I've already built out the factories for this. And now I've made changes. Like, I was expecting to build about 4,200 of these. And now we're shifting some of the categories. So let's see, where's the, with those numbers, we're looking at slightly more. I'll probably keep the factory the same, minimal changes. I might change the final numbers and hit a better market harder. There we go. There's the new change to it. We built out a medium factory, medium plot, middle ground factory, standard level of automation and tooling. And on the engineering side, fairly standard for what we're doing, except we're maximizing funding and pressure. 92 months was what we were targeting. And then for the engine, we had done a large factory because the boxer engine is complicated to get the up to the numbers we needed. And then on the engineering side, we'd taken it a little bit easy on the tooling and maxed out everything to get to 92 months, which is why we're limited by that. keeping the price about average, 500, and with 2.82 billion in project costs, that should take us 5 years to pay off. So there's that one. If we look at the next vehicle, this has a Boxer 4, all cast iron, very wide bore, short stroke, dual overhead cam, 4 valve, all forged, 7.9 compression because there is no turbo, naturally aspirated, single point electronic fuel injection, modest cam profile of 35, fairly standard otherwise, the ignition timing to get the best out of this curve. The cam profile I chose because it produced this power band in the torque range. And that's why I chose it. It's got lots of power in that band. Short cast exhaust. Long tubular didn't really add too much to it. And there's the sound of it. And then the trim itself. Nice chunky tires. A very 70s look front end. Not quite a 70s back end, but wanted to go with something. That's what I chose. Also front wheel drive, not a rear wheel drive. Also automatic, not a manual. Kind of surprised that these were good values for this vehicle. Top speed was right in a sweet spot. Very wide spacing. Hard long life, not chunky off-road. Different market. Tire widths chosen to get best out of drivability. Very big tires. Very affordable options for the most part. Solid discs, front and back. Large in the front. Not so much in the back. No skid tray. It does help a little bit. It's that extra cost. You can see it affects some other things as well. Max cooling for the reliability boost. Basic interior, no entertainment. This is very much intended to be an affordable model. I actually like luxury interiors. I mean, nobody's going to be able to afford, well, not that much expensive. I mean, it is. Kind of surprised by some of those numbers. Maybe I should go for a more expensive version. Make it a nice high-end utility vehicle. Hydraulic power steering. Standard 70s. Safety. Very simple suspension. And we cannot do camber in the back because it's using leaf springs. Could boost the suspension a little bit, sacrifice a little bit of the desirability, get more load factor in. Okay. So we ended up changing both vehicles. We want to hit the off-road market. I'm curious. And we have that low practicality value. I didn't notice that. We need more width. That's not going to help. Accessibility. Don't remember what that's for. Like I can't make the car wider. Not an option. And the wheels are fairly largish. That's a big chunky tire. I wonder if I can boost the quality of anything to get a little bit better practicality. No on the body. Tires. No, which is not surprising. Brakes is a no. Airflow is a no. The interior, we have the traction aids, safety, and suspension. About the only thing that'll help practicality is oh no, that's not helping that either. Well, it is what it is. Not really going to change that too much. And suddenly it took a hit. Some of these numbers are funny. Anyways, the desirability or competitiveness is only 115. We have some fairly competitive. It's a competitive market. And now it goes back up. Numbers are just weird. Being weird today. And it's not quite the same as it was. I think I will put in the off-road skid tray. Bump up the interior to a standard with a basic 8-track. Did want the power steering. Decent load. We'll leave it there regardless of how it ends up. We'll hit a little bit of the off-road market as well. So now I have to put in these numbers too. Heavy delivery. If we slide over, we're looking at about 2,300. So looking at the factory, can't go any smaller. We're at 3,080 with standard automation and tooling. Engineering, I dropped the tooling a bit, boosted the reliability because we had a little bit of extra time. 3121. Checking on the engine factory. We've gone for with a medium 3. Boxer engines, complicated. and fairly standard to get us just under 80 months. And I think I will boost some of this just so we can get more reliability to boost the desirability. Something like that. If the engine takes so long to make, well, that's why we're going to do it. 1.3 billion for the project, which is about the same. And then our sales margin is 4010, which is a little bit better. So it won't take quite as long to pay that one off. Okay, it is 80 months. 80. There we go. We have our two projects that I did mostly off screen. But I wanted to share that with you as we got started on this one. There are a few tweaks to some of the markets. So Gasmea, Hetvesia are at level 5, 6 for Farinia and Arjana, and level 3 for Deluha, for various reasons. No changes to technology. That, I think we are ready to roll. No new technology this year. Are spending a bit of money on multiple projects. Patatine making good money. Do we have a back stock or something? Nope. There's the new Pepita, which is selling like hotcakes. Factory's maxed out again. I'm gonna need to make a bigger factory. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the land plot though. Literally have to make the factory from scratch. I have to save up for that though. New year, 0 taxes paid because we lost a lot that year. We will be getting multi-point electronic fuel injection, air suspension, variable hydraulic power steering, advanced automatics, which those things are amazing. I probably should have waited to get those. Advanced 80s, ball bearings for turbos. Those are amazing too. Now we have the build out for the Patatine, which is barely putting us in the red. And there we go. Minimum safety regulations are going up, but we are above that for most vehicles. 1990, there's a few vehicles that are going to need to get a boost because they won't meet minimum safeties. We've gotten rid of all leaded fuels, we don't have to worry about that. And the Patatine is complete and is also selling like hotcakes. We're going to need a larger factory for them. 50 million, good grief. Okay, so we're going to take a slight detour over to the technology screen. And we're going to boost everything by just a little bit. So that is 1.8 million. 1.9. Put the other part into the fuel system. Yeah, the fuel system. That'll be 2.2 million. What does all of them look like? 3 million, just under. We'll do it. We're making tons of money now. Take it another year. Really tempted to go ahead and make that larger factory now. We are still losing money because of the loans we took out. Next year, oh, I forgot to look at the tech before. Nothing too crazy. And now we are stocking some money. Alright, let's take a look at the marketing and dealerships for these markets. Market awareness. Asmea being boosted slowly. Vezia is doing very well. Bernia doing amazing. Deluha not so much. Archana is. Ooh, Light Sport Premium. So how much money do we want to spend? This is a monthly cost. 4 million extra for Gasmea, 8 million extra for Fruinia, 2 million extra for Vezia. Archana costs nothing. Boost that one. Deluha. Big market. About +1 for everyone. It's going to be expensive. We don't necessarily have the factories for it. Let's see the Pepita. Alright. Fair enough. Look at the Pepita. We do a new facelift. Hammer one of those out fairly quickly. Let's do it in 1982. About to get a luxury cassette. That shouldn't be a big factor. There's the tooling for the Pollo Grigliato, which is also doing well. And the Patatine and the Pepita have calmed down a bit. Not doing quite as crazy as they were. The thing I want to look at though is safety 25, 28. Get it up into the 30s, which I think the Pepita doesn't. Take a look. New facelift. Look at this for an 82. Edit the trim. Yeah, we're not hitting enough safety. Get the engine project going as well for the 82 delivery. Gone all forged. Modest compression, naturally aspirated. We can definitely switch over to injection. Keep it single point. What I'm looking at is 600. So cheap. We'll keep this thing open. Carbureted. It's just so cheap. Forecast exhaust, which is also cheap. The production units that make the long tubular are not worth it. Like, even though the... Oh man, we can get some advantages on the cast lock. We lose on fuel efficiency though. So we'll leave it. Actually, we could down tune it a little bit. Save a little bit of production units by using last year's technology. Just a hair. Advance the timing ever so slightly. We stay at a 1.6 liter economy, putting out 51. Oh, we'll come back to the production. For the van itself, we want to target a safety of about 30. We can switch to the advanced automatic. It is more expensive. We do not want a heavy delivery. This is a light delivery vehicle. That is the target market. I do want all 4 gears. Rear wheel drive, not all wheel. No option for front wheel drive, otherwise they would take it. I want that last gear entirely as overdrive. Gears that way. Pure overdrive gear. Alrighty then. More modest spacing. Bring it back down and there we go. Not the highest it will get, but that's fine. No, we already have the -1 quality on a lot of these. Perfect. Hard long life, not medium. Width and all is fine. Don't need more expensive options. Brakes are looking fairly decent. Don't want to shrink those because we get more brake fade. No changes to the aerodynamics. They do not want a bench seat. Okay. Noted. Interior. Yeah, they want no advantages there. Well, we can boost the quality of safety. Standard 70s. Let's hold that. Actually, let's look at advanced 70s. We're going to hold advanced 70s. Advanced 80s is just more cost. Would future-proof it. We can take a hit on the quality. Bring down the material cost just a hair. With advanced 70s. Drivability has taken a hit. That'll boost. Well, the max load capacity is already where it needs to be. Well, they really want to push it. I am fine with that. Tweak the dampers since I've really messed with the suspension stiffness. Sway bars are fine as is. And yeah, there's no advantage. The suspension in the rear is so stiff, and we don't need to raise the height at all. And double check, we do have a safety of at least 30, which was our target. With that, we can look at a bigger factory. We don't want this one, we want a new one. We'll either repurpose the old one or we will simply sell it off. So we're looking at 6,300 delivery vans. Pepita 2. Suppose I can rename this one. Can you use both? We're making 13,400. Well, let's proceed with that. So we would have to... I am curious about that. Let's delete that. That says 13,000. Would we be producing so many fewer with a large factory? Curious. Large one, steel presses. No different in Ruinia. Switch over to Archana again. Large one. Go to a large 2. Large 3. We want a huge plot. Barely any more. And how many does that produce? 20,000. No, I don't think we can sell that many. It'd be a horrible waste. Max tooling, max reliability, decent funding and pressure. I'm not sure we need to do that. So, Pepita. We could keep the old factory in place and just and place this new one for a small boost in production. Then we can do a new trim to increase the size of this factory, build it out over time. Costs more in the long run, but allow us to ease into and figure out exactly where we need to get this. So let's go ahead and we'll just do it as a new medium 3. Oh no, doesn't seem right. Whereas the large will give us 50% more production. I don't fully understand why it's not fully there. Ramp up the pressure. I'm not too concerned about what they're going to learn from this ancient vehicle. Actually not too concerned about how long this is going to engineer at all, or how much money we spend on it. We're looking at 20,000. We cannot do that with just the original factory, similar to the other one. So let's get a second huge plot. Do a large with Forge Works. This one looks like we'll definitely be able to get all of our production into one factory. But we can keep the old factory too. So that'll be Pepita old. Pepita. Looking at that, we need to make 6,000. It's a little too much. Ooh, just right. We're making 20,000. Perfect. Boost the reliability. And I forgot how many months it's going to take for the car engineering. 52. So we can also boost the process. Forecasting tool. We made it a little bit expensive. I think we can go the other way now. I'm going to shoot from the hip on this one. Although I will seek to crunch numbers in between episodes because we're actually running long at this point. That's what we're looking to do with the Pepita. 2 factories for both the engine and the vehicle. But with that, I appreciate you staying till the end. Please leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Take care.